Hi everyone, what's up? Smooth the DJ here, and I'm bringing you Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater HD Edition. This game has come out in 2012, or had a re-release in 2012 with this exact edition. The game's been out since 2006, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 2006 and 7. It's a very critically and also audience acclaimed game from the mind of Hideo Kojima, and it's probably one of my favorite PlayStation 2 games of all time, next to Devil May Cry 3 and also Kingdom Hearts 2, interestingly enough. Yeah, this game has not had a re-release since 2012, believe it or not. The last release you were able to buy was the HD edition that came out in 2012 on PS3, Xbox 360, and also PlayStation Vita, if I'm not mistaken. PlayStation Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 had a re-release on GOG just recently, I think about 2 years ago at this point. But yeah, Konami decided, like, hey, we should release a legacy collection and release it to modern platforms. Granted, Konami has done a not so good job of actually porting the games over, because essentially what they did is they just took the Bluepoint HD editions that you're about to witness here and port them onto new platforms. Now some people would accuse Konami of being lazy, me included, but it's pretty fucking awesome to actually have a playable version of MGS3 on PC. It is incredible. So I haven't played this game in a very long time, but I wanted to treat you guys to a playthrough of this game because it's one of my favorite games of all time. It's damn awesome, and I hope you guys can join me on this little adventure that we're going on. Granted, I'm not going to do a full completionist run. I'll get as much stuff as I can and maybe throw in a few tidbits here and there throughout the playthrough. And yeah, if you guys enjoy it, let me know, and leave a thumbs up, comment the video, and then we'll see what happens. And best believe this series will continue to the very end. Who knows what's gonna come up next? Maybe I'm just 3, maybe I'm just 1, maybe 4 down the line whenever I find a reasonable approach to actually stream this game and record. We'll see. Anyway, without further ado, let's start this playthrough.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arming parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
That cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Sunrise.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout bottle.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop-off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings and
And fly. God be with you.
It's been so long since the last season. Is it 2012? What was it? And, just seeing this all back on the screen is so damn good. It is so damn good.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the Virtuous Mission.
Virtual Mission?
No, the Virtuous Mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous Mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov? Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same.
Yep, that's the one.
On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin into orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story, so why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent.
Well, after that short, long
And it was
period of
only a
time,
week later
so
that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba. And so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust.
That is true.
But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handed him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my side. Then, a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
You would think
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No, according to our intelligence, he's in Selinoyarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
Let's talk about that massive gamble. Huge for
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selinoyarsk in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the West. If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking. Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat-proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talent?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong, you'll be eating dinner, breakfast, and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
It's not like Snake is He'll be fine. Talk about a not so smooth landing right there. Guys, this game has a lot of talking cutscenes. It's not as bad as MGS4, but...
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
Oh, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
Easy peasy.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
I will. I will, sir. Food. Options, map. Yep, that looks good. Let's go. Let's see how steep this actually is. Crikey. Yeah, this is rather steep. I'm kind of glad I didn't fall down there. Imagine you would have fallen down there and you're like, yeah, no. As you guys can see, it's pretty much like the other MGS games. You've got a health bar on the top right. Down below is the stamina gauge, which determines how well Snake is doing. So to gain some stamina, you can quit moving and just stay in one spot for a long time, eat food, and just generally make sure that you don't run out of stamina. You can get poisoned, which deters your ability to stay hidden well because your stomach starts growling after a certain time, especially when you're hungry, which gives you a position away to enemies. sounds bad on paper, and it really is. So, yeah. Got my back. And also, if you lack stamina, you are
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake.
crazy and you can't aim properly.
To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left.
That's right.
From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the Enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from Item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun?
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger-happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Nope.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Yes, sir.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Hey.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
The boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me.
Wow.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years,
That's a sexy
72
voice.
days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Did you, though?
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your codename is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit, a group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC? Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the Major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Yes, you said that before.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Commencing Virtuous Mission now.
Man, facility closed there again. You can't just assume it closed. It's being back in Snake's boots. Right, now that I've retrieved my backpack, I can actually check what's in it. So I've got the binoculars, the trusty old cigar, a motion detector, active sonar, anti-personal sensor, which vibrates when an enemy comes nearby, which might come in handy later on. There's some Siberian Incap, reticulated pythons, and calorie mate. They're not sponsoring this game, of course. Let's see, camouflage. We've got face paint. Considering we're in the jungle, woodland face paint might actually be a bad idea. And it does look reasonably well, I guess. Also, this freaking mask over here, which is a callback to MGS2, those who played it might recognize him as Raiden. Of all people. So green color, brown, which helps me not diminish my O2 gauge. Green was grip gauge. Those came later on bundled with the subsistence release of the game. I'm gonna go with woodland painting for now and change my uniform to, I guess, to leaf. Camouflage and developed to provide cover in forested areas. Effective in underbush. So I think this will do for now. My camo index is at 50%, which is pretty good. If I'm kneeling in the bushes or lie down, I go down to 90%, which makes me pretty much invisible. The only way you can actually get up to 100% is actually with the stealth camouflage that you can unlock when you're doing pretty well in the game. I can already see trouble here. Alligators. All those feet, so they bite me. If I'm taking too long, I might have an alligator chance of doing sinking this one. Which we want to prevent, because this is the Virtuous Mission and there is more to it than this. Now capture a snake as a weapon. You can use that against my enemies. As you can see, the game is very straightforward. You have some rather linear pathways that diverge a little bit, so you can take different approach to how you want to proceed with the mission and how you sneak up on enemies, attack them, all that stuff. It's somewhat
Major,
open.
I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
KGB,
AK-47s and grenades.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage.
I just mentioned.
Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer. The Uniform option lets you pick your uniform, while the Face option lets you change your face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the camo index. The camo index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area.
Yep.
The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
65% is not terrible. See if I can maybe knock this guy out. Okay. Guys, knock the fuck out. Good thing it's tranquilizer bullets and not real bullets, because I'll be in trouble if it would be otherwise. Just got nothing on him. Oh, some bullets. That's good. Actually, that's not the cold side. Just caught a snake. Let's see where that one went. I think it's in the backpack. There you go. There's the snake. Because I'm going to do something that not many people do in this game. I should be doing more often, in my opinion. I'm going to use the caught animals to my advantage.
Huh? What's that sound?
See that snake over there?
Oh!
He fucking killed it! What the fuck? Jesus. That's what you get. That's what you get for killing the snake, actually. Oh. That's close. Can I hit him from here? Let's see. Ooh, trick shot. Nice. I haven't done that in a while. I'm still surprised that I remember some of the enemy placement in this game. I am honestly shocked. How will I remember this game? It's been over 10 years nearly since I last played it. Boom! Okay, that was a pretty good shot. I'm well surprised. I don't want to push my luck with the enemies, so I'm just going to get the fuck out of here. Continue on with the mission. That's what we're here for, after all. This game's so damn cool. The meme is born. Smiling snake. Sounds wrong. Smiling snake. That's better than one, I suppose. Oh, this frog up here is a little collectible. I really hope the enemies come. Well, I'm gonna do something probably pro gamer. Just to wait for the enemy to actually be underneath this freaking bee's nest. Shouldn't be hard, I suppose. Is there underneath it? Okay, let's go. Huh? Right, so there's the ensues. Like this. That poor bastard just got attacked by the bees, right? And look at him run away. Like the coward he is. And granted, I'm not a massive fan of bees myself. But, this makes this area a whole lot easier. It's very well sneaky. will die. You will be rewarded for your braveness with the 16. Which is pretty good. Because exactly what we need for this guy. And the good thing is, thanks to the B attack that I just initiated, I can run through here, which saves me a lot of ammo and time. Imagine if I would have taken out every single enemy one at a time, like I just did in the beginning area. That would have taken me forever.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump.
Yep. It is.
I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight.
Have you considered that?
There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Probably more than... for good measure.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
What's that?
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
Okay.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
Roger that. That's a little message from Kojima to the player, because this game had to be delayed like once or twice before it was released, and this is like the apology message from Kojima. So it's a bit of a meta commentary there from Mr. Kojima himself. Kind of funny, not gonna lie. Right, can I do something about my camouflage to not stand out even more? I think the Tiger Stripe will do, I suppose. Good old Tiger Stripe. Okay, my pistol's loaded. See if I can beating up be a terrible trap for once. There we go. That's one taken care of. Be careful with the other guards around. Don't want to get caught, you know. Last thing I need is trouble. That's another one. Okay, 2 down. Consider this as well. The enemies react to every single thing you do. Like noise. Even if you shoot against the wall and make a noise, they react to the noise. So you have to be extra careful. You can also make enemies freeze in their position, but it's a bit risky doing that in certain situations, so you have to be very acutely aware of your surroundings before you do so. I just realized, I was like, what the hell is that noise? M37, wow, the shotgun. Actually, the shotgun, man. That's cool. Forgot about the shotgun. Oh, shit. Okay, where's that guy going? He's coming past me in a moment. Have to be really careful. Okay. He's standing there, but is he actually moving any further? Okay, that should be fine.
Huh? Who's that?
Shit. That's not what's supposed to happen. Yeah, I triggered him. That's what's supposed to happen. That's MGS for it. least I actually have a weapon that I can fight back with. So it should be fine for now. So you don't want to die. That'd be an idea. Let's eat some snake.
Tasty.
Tasty. Love that line. Freaking love it. Okay. Which is a good thing to do if you have you're suffering from health. The idea is that I get the alert beats it down to 0, which is probably not going to happen because the enemies will start in a second. But it can help.
Patrol here. We've lost sight of the enemy. Commence alert formation.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We've lost sight of the intruder, going into high alert.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
What I find very fascinating about this game, I've never understood this. The radio that the Russians call into, or the army soldiers in general,
Where's he hiding?
are all talking in American accents. Which doesn't make any fucking sense because we're in Soviet Russia in the 60s. Unless these soldiers are defectors, then this doesn't make any fucking sense.
What's wrong?
the good thing about being able to pause the game. I get my stun grenades out. And also the life medicine that I need. That heals my health a little bit, which is good. Okay, that should. Okay, that did knock them out. That's weird. One guy knocked out. Where's the other one? Motherfucker. Can we get up? No? Can we get up? He's not up. Punch him in the throat. There he is. There you go. You're fine now, because that was the last one. Put the suppressor back on, just for good measure. Very well sure that it's gonna mess up. Mess this up.
Right there? Lost sight of the enemy. He's here somewhere. Find him.
Okay. At least I managed to get there without being alerted to the enemy. Oh boy. Suspicious there, Mrs.
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No, I'm a
sir.
CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah, I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
I mean, it's
Did
2
he now?
years.
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word.
Yeah.
But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of GRU. You in the
Who
West
from-
know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power.
Seems like every government has some power-hungry people, especially around this time.
The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Bet your ass you will.
Leave it to me.
You will come. If he knows about me, I'm screwed.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so?
Russian right now, though.
America's truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts?
No.
Hell no.
I have no love for this place. Let's go.
You say that now. You say that now, mate.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
I managed to get past them.
I see.
Barely.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
Okay. Bit weird, huh? Attention to detail in this game. There's certain things it's holding up very well despite its age.
Freeze!
Those are the soldiers I just knocked out. Well, the numbers would make sense, to say the very least.
So this is the legendary boss.
Huh?
We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz.
Huh?
What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
He's the Ocelot commander.
That's Major Ocelot to you. Don't you forget it.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
impossible. That was an impossible shot right there. He still managed to pull it off.
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
You're not the boss, are you?
GRU operatives!
What is that stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
Stuck in the chamber.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
We're taking on now, I suppose.
You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do, but testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Huh? Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
I guess he's exhausted. For now.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov, too. Apparently, they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
I couldn't have gotten that. You couldn't have gotten that far. checking if I'm missing out on anything, but I don't think I do. So far. Real quick. No, that's fine. No point of wearing camouflage if I'm not being attacked right now. Can't harm. Let's just get it off. Okay. See, told you, you didn't go far. You didn't go far.
You okay? Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best crew has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished.
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we've got some of the best backup we could ask.
Look.
That's what they were making you build.
Yes. The Shagohod. The treading behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo. Is that thing finished?
No, this is only the end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2?
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
A world war.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
Just hoping he's right.
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Hornets.
messed up.
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back, boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go to the depths of hell itself. It's raining blood. Is he crying?
Kuwabara, Kuwabara. Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
The ultimate betrayal.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Plot twist.
Recoilless nuclear warheads.
Oh, we didn't see that.
These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us Cobras.
Child.
He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
Huh?
Oops. The oldest trick in the book. That scene is always hard to watch, even after almost 20 years of actually having seen it.
He's seen my face. We can't let him live. If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
Wait. He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him. Jack, you can't come with us.
Don't do it. Don't do it. No. Don't think so much. Just go, man. Yeah, no, that's not gonna be a good fall. At least he landed with the balls.
The new blood has been rejected.
Don't call it rejected. But, let's just say flushed out.
Are we done here?
Now, onto Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
Is that worth betraying the country for?
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Major. The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound. If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
All right. Cure. Now we got a condition: suffering from a deep cut, bleeding. No bandage applied, not yet disinfected. So what we're gonna do is gonna put in disinfection on it, styptic, bandage, suture kit. There we go. Deep cut, suture, bandage, styptic, and disinfectant. I feel like I'm doing my nursing job again. As you can see, so you can actually see the entire skull when you press the different buttons. And interestingly, if you spin Snake long enough in this view, he actually pukes. Bone fracture. Bandage. And splint. Yep. Bandage, suture kit, styptic, disinfectant. And a splint and bandage. There you go. By the way, those who are a bit squeamish, you might want to look around. Because this seems to be switch. What's I didn't want it? Ow. Ow. myself. I feel At least it's got slow, huh?
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Am I ready? Let's talk about the beginning of the game. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
Shagohod.
This is a silly looking tank.
Excellent. A great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death?
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her. She has spunk.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
the radiation that you would be exposed to. That's pretty nuts. Well, thankfully, this is fiction, so anything goes. To a certain degree, of course. To a certain degree. Save data. Well, guys, this is it for part 1. I hope you guys enjoyed. And see you guys for the next one, where we see what happens next. I have no idea, but I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Until then, have a good one, guys. Take care. And have a great day. Bye.